Oh yes, look at that beautiful stack. Pew 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 pew. Hello YouTube, welcome to this fine day. Today we're going to have a look at Yawgmoth Thran position in Historic Brawl, long awaited on this channel. So the goal of this deck is to sacrifice a bunch of little creatures, just 1/1s that spawn other 1/1s, right? And then ping the opponent to death with death triggers on cards like Relic Vial, Bastion of Remembrance, like Falconwrath Noble, and so on, right? We have some decent interaction with cards like Bone Shards, Bloodchief's Thirst, and Heartless Act, just good old black removal basically. Mana base is nothing too fancy. Overall, the game plan of this deck is pretty simple but also pretty effective. And if you're looking for budget cuts, I would recommend crafting cards like Meathook Massacre first, because those ping effects are what really carry the deck, and then you can cut like cards like Dread Wanderer for other uncommons or commons, because these are pretty interchangeable. Those are just like the most optimal ones in my opinion. You could also run just more creatures that have 2 power to go a bit more aggro, but I just decided to go with a bit more sacrifice heavy plan. Other than that, there is not much to say about, except like and subscribe if you like my videos, and I will see you in the games. We are ready to play against Hoffrey, the spirit guy, Hoffrey Ghostforge, yes. And we keep this based on the power of Nest of Scarabs. That card is absolutely busted in Yawgmoth, and the best card in the deck by a long shot, because you can like technically go in for it with it. Basically what it allows you to do is to get like sacrifice 1/1s until the toughness of the opposing creatures go to 0, and until that point you're just going in for it basically. So if the opponent has a total toughness of 7 on board, you can just get 7 death triggers of Yawgmoth. So I'm going to play this, and I assume my opponent will just surrender to this, because they already see that we have the 4 mana available. Okay. The opponent plays a Ranger Captain Obvious, which won't do much arguably, but the sacrifice effect is a bit annoying. Okay. So they attack, we don't block. And we sadly didn't draw a land yet, but that will surely change, right? You get -1 until end of turn. Sure, I can't cast non-creatures. I intend to cast a creature anyways, good sir. I attack first to get 1 more damage in, and then I get rid of Plark, Dean of Chaos. Okay, and now we spawn another 1/1 because we have a Nest of Scarabs, and then we sacrifice a 1/1, and then we spawn another 1/1, and so on and so forth. We drew the land, that's optimal, and now the opponent really has to deal with our board. If they just jam creatures, this won't work. Yeah, and they already see that this is probably not amazing for them. We attack first. If they like flash a creature or something like that, it also just dies, right? So nothing they can do here. Okay, I think I want to hit my land drop. Like, hitting land drops is quite important for this deck, and I do have a 1 and a 2 in the graveyard. I do. Oh, it's tempting. Yeah, I could also just set up the Priest of Forgotten Gods, but no. Okay, you two come back. Okay, and I put a Death Touch counter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. GG, Nest of Scarabs is too strong. We are playing against Krenko Mob Boss. And this seems like a great hand. Honestly, just 2 more lands and we are fine. We are absolutely blazing through this, and even if we don't have them, it's still okay. Ornithopter is in this deck because it is a 0 mana creature, so we can sacrifice it to Yawgmoth, draw a card off of it, and then we can trigger our death triggers like Bastion of Remembrance, so it's basically free value. I could go with Phyrexian Tower now, and then play Bastion, and next turn still Yawgmoth, but then I wouldn't. Oh, I would have 1 more creature on the field, but I think just playing Jadar here is probably optimal. Also, I should have played the Phyrexian Tower here. I think hiding the information that I have to Phyrexian Tower is probably the smartest idea. Also, this was from an event that just dropped, the Eternal Night event. Well, you will see it in a few days, probably, but yeah, that art style is pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Okay, no locks. We are going to... Could just Murderous Rider the Chieftain, or I could just play Yawgmoth now. I think I will do that. And then... yeah, seems good. Yawgmoth. I also attack first. And then I can sacrifice Dread Wanderer and Ornithopter to the Yawgmoth. Because turning this off is very important. Because if they go too wide, this might be a problem. Okay. And GG, 4 toughness is a lot to deal with for a red deck. We are ready to play against Rada, Heart of Celt. And this hand is good. Just like all the previous ones. Great. Great. Okay, so the big question is, do I play this tap now or later? I like playing it now. Like, I don't value the 1 damage to face these potentially get from like going face too much, and maybe I want to just like Heartless Act something here right now, right? And yeah, overall I think that was a pretty decent play. I could just keep up Heartless Act for the commander, but just Festering Mummy Grim Physician is also decent. Okay. What now, opponent? What do you have for me? Pitiless Plunderer is an absolute house in this deck. It's amazing because you just generate 1,000,000 treasures. Okay. Yeah, you have to die. Okay, I think I have a cool way to kill that actually, right? Yeah, I attack with both. If they block 1, I give her a minus, then sacrifice the other one and just kill her that way, and I think that's more efficient. That still holds up the Heartless Act for their turn. Let the damage go through. And... gotcha. Yep. So we draw 2 cards, and perfect, we drew a card that we can play here. Because when Yawgmoth comes down, he really wants to already see creatures in play. That's also why you don't see me play cards like Arcane Signet and Mindstone, because yes, you can ramp into Yawgmoth, but then you don't have anything in play, right? That's kind of awkward. Okay. They don't have any land drops. So what does that mean? This Elysian Dryad of the Elysian Grove is absolutely useless to them. It kind of fixes the mana, but not really. Like, I don't think they have mana problems. If they have an Oracle of Moldai in hand, this could be a problem, but they need to draw an untapped land and have Oracle in hand for this to really matter. So the question becomes, what do I play first, Plunderer or Vampire? Because I want to play Yawgmoth and then basically sack my whole board to him, and then just get immediate value, right? I think I like the Plunderer here. Yep, and then we pass turn. I think that's pretty decent. Okay, they drew the untapped land. Do they have the Oracle of Moldai as well? To play lands off the top of their library. They don't? I guess. Gruul is pretty annoying for us because Yawgmoth is really good against decks with low toughness, and you know, Gruul creatures have everything but a low toughness. They'd rather have big butts, you know. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see. I think I want to Bloodchief Thirst this? I don't know. I guess. Oh, that's weird. Let's draw a card. And drawing something like a 1-drop would be also pretty good here. Okay, it's a land. That's not a 1-drop. Okay. I am chilling. I have time. I hold up the Heartless Act. If I Bloodchief's Thirst the Liberator here, my opponent just sacrifices it in response and kills my scrap heap. I then could have brought back the scrap heap as well, but like Liberator is like no, I think it was valuable to get this out of the way, arguably. Okay, they let it go to nighttime, which is pretty cool for them, that is. Oh, damn it. I should have done it in a different order. So now they can kill the ghoulish procession. Okay, I attack with Scrap Heap. And then if they just block with the Dryad of Elysian Grove, I'm just killing this. Also, I'm letting it go to day, which is amazing. Okay, what are you up to? Sure. You get minus. I still get my ghoulish procession. Yep. And what's up next? I'm really curious what they have over there. It's okay. I think sacrificing this in response is just making a lot of sense. So my scrap heap still just kills the Dryad. We don't get the card draw. So one thing to note with Yawgmoth is, first and foremost, Proliferate doesn't target. So we could have just lowered this further and further, basically here. But another very important thing is you have a May target. It's May target. It's up to 1 target. So that's functionally the same. And if you target something and then this thing gets hexproof or the target becomes illegal, you don't draw the card. So if you just want to draw the card or like guarantee the card draw, or you don't even have targets, you just say no to target a creature to put a counter on it, and then you will always get the card draw. That's pretty nifty. So their Outland Liberator is still not killing the ghoulish procession, which I thought they'd do by this time, right? Okay. That's fine. So I could take the opportunity to kill the Outland Liberator here. I think I will do that. And I have a bunch of options with Malakir Rebirth. I can just bring it back once and then sacrifice it again. I think I like that one. So like this. And now, yep. I think that's even better, right? Yeah, nice. And now we Heartless Act. We didn't Heartless Act first, otherwise I would have gone a treasure to sacrifice it. to sacrifice the Outland Liberator. With this order, it's way more manageable. Okay. They have a Snakeskin Veil, that's perfectly fine. We can still just Bloodchief Thirsted next turn. So if we do that, I think we just attack with the team first. Right? Yeah. Now, what do we do after that? Can't like, we have one, two. It depends how many creatures we sacrifice, right? It depends. If I like block Yawgmoth, I'm super into like sacking one thing and then finishing it off. That would be pretty cool as well. And then Bloodchief's Thirst. If they want to destroy Yawgmoth, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, if they want to destroy Yawgmoth, we can deal with that. Because we sacrifice this, get 1 mana, and then Malaki Rebirth. They hold priority first because it's their turn. Now we can Malaki Rebirth our Yawgmoth, so it comes back nice and fresh. And I'm actually in a lot of trouble if they... no, it comes back. I'm actually in a lot of trouble if they have 1 more hexproof, like spell or something that gives hexproof, right? Damn. Goldspan Voltron. Sure, now you can get it. Yeah, but now I will kill the Goldspan Dragon and they're left empty-handed pretty much. And that is pretty great, not gonna lie. You play another card, opponent? Okay, perfect. The Goldspan Dragon shall die. Do I even use this? No, there is no use. I don't think I will attack, right? Yeah. This is fine. Oh, okay. We Bloodchief's Thirst. Our way to victory. Sure, get all the treasures in the world. And then we just play a Vindicative Vampire. And that should really help us out in the long run. We could sack this creature or the treasure. I think sacking the treasure is more valuable here. Well, look, keeping the creature around is more valuable, but you guys get what I mean, right? If I get a second drain/life gain effect, things really start to get nasty because then we net life each time we sacrifice something. They apparently don't have a land on top. And they say, good game. Yep, GG. We are ready to play against Brewwag, probably Petitioners, and he will probably instantly surrender, especially if I have a Nest of Scarabs. Like, I don't need anything, basically, right? Because Petitioners used to be a great budget deck. Just fill your decks with Petitioner, Brewwag, and mill the opponent on turn 5. But now with a 100 card, this is much worse. With 4 lands in hand, I'm going to keep the Palaka Predation. But I assume it's... Okay, it could be Petitioners, but it also could be Cacophony combo, where you play a card that mills half of the opponent's deck, and then... Yes, probably the combo version. And half the opponent's deck, and then it doubles it to the full deck, so no matter how big my deck would be, Brewwag plus Maddening Cacophony for a total of 9 mana just mills me instantly. Okay, so knowing that, I think I really don't like the Kasmina's Transmutation. It, disables my Yawgmoth, so... And they are chock full of counter spells. They have a bounce and double counter and 2 cantrips. Yeah, I'm really glad that I kept the Palaka Predation for now. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to take their didn't say please, arguably. Just to like go around and like I really want to stick these ping effects now. Because that would yeah, sure, didn't say please. Because the reason is that I'm not expecting my Yawgmoth to live, but then my 1/1s just can get in, and if they block it, they just get a ton of damage. So now I am pretty safe to drop this Nest of Scarabs. Yeah, I'm actually 100% safe. Okay. Oh wow, Brawl and Kevin. Yeah, they don't have land. That's sucks for them, but great for me. Okay, Nest of Scarabs, here we go. They have a Disdainful Stroke as well, I just noticed. Oh yeah. This Yawgmoth will never be resolved. And I really want it to be. Damn it. Well, this is a tricky one. So basically the challenge is to hit literally every single land drop, or like if we just flood out and draw 5 flats in a row, that would be a good draw right now. Which sounds crazy, but it's not. Because now they counter, right? Then they... Yep. Give it to my command zone, thank you. Then they counter again. And then we can hopefully resolve Yawgmoth in the future. They bounce the Nest of Scarabs with Brazen Burrow, which I do think is pretty decent. Ooh, and they get a counter spell back. Damn. Oh no, okay. So yeah, they really want to dig for their combo plan here. So if I Yawgmoth, they Tails End and then have a Brazen Burrow, right? That would be meh. And then next turn they can strategic planning into another counter spell, and then they counter Nest of Scarabs. So I think I want to play Nest of Scarabs with the Putrid Goblin as long as I have the chance to resolve it. God damn it. Yep. Also, this works with this. The Putrid Goblin puts a counter on itself when it dies. And then we get a beautiful 1/1 insect. Okay, Search for Escanta has to go here. Like, that is literally basically the MVP of the deck, just apart from their 1-card combo piece, basically. Yeah, so Feed the Swarm. It is. Like, this deck usually doesn't play too much at instant speed. This is why Feed the Swarm is here over, say, something like an Infernal Grasp. Okay. Let's hope they don't have a counter. Oh, wait, what? It was... Wow. Ah, that is so suspicious. What could that be? Is that Aaron's Epiphany? Because they didn't say please behold the multiverse. Like, why wouldn't they... If it's behold the... Like, if it's Aaron's Epiphany, I don't care, right? If it's... No, I'm just going to play Yawgmoth. I don't know what they... Like, now the Search for Escanta flips, but my Yawgmoth is on the board, right? It's definitely, like, this is probably the game-deciding decision right here, right now, right? Like, am I going to win or lose this? I don't know which one is the outcome yet, right? But this here was probably the decision for that. Time Warp, sure, I don't care. Like, if you Maddening Cacophony me, right? Like, if he, right now, Maddening Cacophonies me with the Brewwag on the field, in response I'm just going to kill his Brewwag with the Yawgmoth. And then his whole combo is, like, non-existent. I think I'm just going to take these Ravens out. Just drawing cards before, like, they can bounce Yawgmoth in response to something. If they, like, want to Tails and something like that, that's absolutely fine. Okay. And now we get rid of... I'd argue this goes to the graveyard. We have, like, a card being in the graveyard is just valuable in and of itself, right? Okay. So now we have a situation at hand. Okay. I think like them just foretelling the Alrund's Epiphany was just not an amazing play, to be perfectly honest. If we, I think we have Field of Ruin in our list, maybe? I think so. So drawing that would be obviously amazing as well, but then they would just Tails at that. Ooh. See, now we got punished for sacrificing the Putrid Goblin. Amazing. Doubly amazing. Oh, this was... Okay, I shouldn't have sacrificed it in the first place because I knew that I had an undead Augur in hand, right? So... My bad, my bad. Should have sacrificed an insect. So they blink of an eye the Yawgmoth. Okay, that is... Okay. Let me see. They blink the Yawgmoth. I'm just currently deciding if I want to sacrifice a couple of insects to draw more cards. No, submit 0. Yep. I think... Yep, you. Yeah, sure. I want to kill them in the end, right? So I really just want to go in here in their life total. I should have attacked first, obviously. Just get in the damage. Ruin Crab. Don't see how that contributes to the game plan if they combo kill me anyways. That just feeds me with like creatures in a graveyard, doesn't it? I am going to play Yawgmoth, I believe. Seems good. They Tails end it. Seems also good. We Fatal Push their Ruin Crab. And we just purely do this to get in for 2 more damage each turn. But I quite like it. Do I play Meathook Massacre on 0? No, I don't think the 1 life will matter. And I think we can sneak it in before we start sacrificing a ton of stuff, right? Escanta. Yep, they activate. If they counter the push, sure, I guess. We just have a Feed the Swarm. I don't particularly feel the need to play Feed the Swarm, or like hold Feed the Swarm for something really important. Mortal Sun is a good card, but hopefully we just kill them. Okay, 4 damage a turn is not the fastest clock, I'll admit that. I'm just hoping that they don't have the maddening cacophony here. Because if they draw it, I'm just dead. Immortal Sun. Now we just play Yawgmoth again. I doubt they top decked a counterspell. The likelihood that they didn't is higher than that if they did, basically. And they can still search for Escanta to pack of negation. That is one thing they can do. Okay. We Yawgmoth here. Sure. Okay, beautiful. Also should have done Ornithopter first. Oh well. And I want to draw cards before I do anything here. We open the graves, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, and we get a 1/1 insect. So notably, this draws us a card whenever any zombie dies, not just non-tokens, so we can just gain like a ton of what's it called? A ton of draw with that. A Mortal Sun, sure. You do you, opponent, but I think I have this in the bag this time. Yeah. These random mill cards seem a bit random. Like, if you play Brew combo, you basically just play the one mill card that kills them together with Brewback enemy. You don't play it like a mill deck, you play it like a combo deck where it's a 2-card combo where one piece of the combo is your commander, so that's pretty good to find. It's a bit like a Sararak, right? And then you just control around that. Okay. That's a bit unfortunate. But I'm equipped to deal with that. I'm still not sacrificing this. It's more power on the board. And I can just feed the swarm here. If I played the Meathook Massacre earlier, that would have been great. Now I kind of regret that I didn't, but you'll learn, right? Because then they would have been dead right here. Okay. Sadly, this can't sacrifice itself. Otherwise, you can just sacrifice it. Could just sacrifice it in response. But now I am just going to feed the swarm, the Frogify. Sure, negate. And then I'm going to finish off the opponent with a Bastion of Remembrance, Swingin', and then Meathook Massacre for 1. And that should also play around Quench. Yep. What do you have, opponent? Did I? Yes. So that is an amazing play. Just sacrifice the board. And we get triggers in 3, 2, 1. Pew. Oh yes, look at that beautiful stack. Pew, 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 pew. We are ready to play against this Harvest hand. And if Yawgmoth gets to stick, they are pretty done, not gonna lie. I think I will Duress them on turn 1. Like, just getting valuable information is pretty good. Knowing what to hold up the Heartless Act for. I don't see many enchantments here. I'm confused. Yeah, I don't care if you wipe the board, opponent. I'm just taking all your ramp. This is highly interesting. So will they play Sithis on turn 2 is the question. Like if I just pass the turn here, right? Maybe if I click past turn fast enough, they think, okay, he does not have anything. I can play Sithis, it's nice, and then boom, Heartless Act. Oh, there's the Nest of Scarabs again. It feels like cheating. It really does feel like it. Sithis. Heartless Act, you. Boom. And we just go with a nest, I believe. I mean, just do it while we can. Okay, Idyllic Terror 4. I'd argue it's a Banishing Light effect. Maybe they want to... Okay, Enchantress Presence makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because their commander is not going to stick, so they are just going to play the enchantment effect. Like the pure enchantment version of that. Makes a ton of sense, really. So they play Mangara the Diplomat, and we are going to play... basically... everything, right? Ooh. So here's the thing. I give them a card if I play the Ghoulish Procession now, so that's what I'm not doing that. I really don't want them to draw cards here. That is my #1 goal. And to achieve that, I'm willing to give up my 2/2 zombie token. So we sacrifice? Yep. untap land and I will Plaga Predation probably. Yep, there it is. And then get the Enchantress Presence out of their hand, really, right? Like, if they wipe, okay, that's fine, but I can refill, whereas they cannot. Sure, Enchantress Presence. Like, I want to get their card draw. They have, like, infinite mana, so card draw is, like, pretty great, because, like, Smothering Tithe, I will just give them so many treasures, they will have a huge Nyx Remation, which arguably instantly dies, right? But, get the point? The Planar Cleansing will remove the Nest of Scarabs, so that is something to keep in mind. Nothing I can do about it though. Sure, Wolf Willowhaven. I think I'm going to prioritize the creatures that come back if they die. Like, just play those, right? Or maybe I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm just like playing the cards that die, and I'm planning to sacrifice my whole board in response to this Planar Cleansing and just draw a million cards off of it. Maybe let the Putrid Goblin live, right? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Okay, so we start. Summit 0. Boom. You. Summit 0. Boom. You. Summit 0. Boom. And now, is this good enough? Yeah, we drew land. I'd argue it's more valuable to leave behind 2 creatures. Sure. Goodbye, board. It was nice knowing you. So now we can just refill with a Yara. And then when they play their commander, we can just answer with a Yawgmoth or a Liliana. Tons of options, really. Tons of options. Okay. Smothering Tithe, yeah, as expected. Sure. I will never ever pay for the Tithe. Ever. That being said, your Llanowar is dead. So now we can... it's interesting. The Jadar doesn't really do too much because... I know it does something. It does something. Because we can... Although we get a goldish... Like, we have to sacrifice this token basically right now, right? No, Summit 0. And then we get 1 additional in the end step. Sure. And I can't stress this enough, I do not care how much mana my opponent has, because they either have infinite, like, mana plus card draw is a valuable thing, but they do not have card draw, and I just took their most valuable card draw engine out of their hand, so yeah, that's GG. We are ready to play against Grixis Control with Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, at the head. And oh boy, this is going to be a grindy one. I am just usually recording my videos one by one, right, and then just putting them in order I played the games. Like, nothing spectacular, no like cutting videos, no reordering, right? Just like pure gameplay, here you go. And this was... I was planning this to be my last one because I'm usually like at the 40 plus minutes mark of raw footage. I have to trim some fat here and there after that, right? But after that much raw footage, after like 40 minutes, I usually say, okay, let's go make the next video, or just chill, or like go to editing, whatever, right? So yeah, I was planning to have this as the last video and last clip in this video. But oh boy, it's going to look like a grindy one. Those are beautiful, beautiful card packs though. By Seb McKinnon. I feel like a board wipe is coming, I'm just holding back a bit. Now, this is a matchup where we don't necessarily need Yawgmoth on the field, so the Relic Wall looks a bit awkward, not gonna lie. But the ability to just cycle our creatures into card draw is pretty handy. Honestly, that's a zombie, so I'm just going to play this, and if they board wipe me... Okay, that's a reject. Well, if they board wipe me, that would be like drawing 3 more cards, getting a lot of things. Yeah, that's just great. Okay, it looks like this game I'm just going to drain them out. If they play... They know if they just play the Ravager, it's going to die immediately to this board because we can sack the Ghast. Although they know I did not have the land drop, so... Yep, taking Falconwrath Noble here, I assume. Like, just stop the bleed. And we just Thoughtseize them right back. Counterspell the Thoughtseize, wow. What does that mean? That means I will cash one of these creatures in with the Relic Vial in case they board wipe. Noxious Gearhulk, sure. But the opponent does not get any life because I'm just going to sacrifice in response. I get a treasure, and that's going to be quite nice. Yeah, I like this Bloodchief's Thirst here. Just get this out of the way, get the 3 damage in. Oh damn, this game is quicker than expected, and I'm just chilling. Like, no need to play this really right now. I want them to play Nikobolas, and then we can go like Yawgmoth, Thran Physician, kill the Nikobolas, Brainstorm. Yeah, they're really desperate. They're digging. Brainstorm into Conceit because you don't have any answers. Maybe. Maybe. A man can hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're almost dead if they like play Nikobolas and I sack my board. That's pretty neat. Maybe I should have played the Grim Physician here, but then again a board wipe would have been extremely annoying. They're still holding priority on this letter of acceptance, but I do not respect that. What I will respect, however, is something like a Quench. Nobody plays that right now, but it's possible. Oh, I shouldn't have respected it. Wrong order again, because if they had a removal spell, that would have been quite nasty. Okay. Yep. You. And then sacrifice the Dread Wanderer as well. Damn, Blood Artist, why weren't you on the board? Would have been pretty cool. And Relic Vial is coming through here. Wow. Oh wow, and we have the Rankle for Lethal next turn. Wow. That is so good. Honestly, I should have attacked with... I missed Lethal here. Because I should have attacked with the whole board. They could have only blocked one of them. Like I should have... No. Yeah, but like... Okay, no. They would have been at 1. But arguably, I missed Lethal. Almost. Okay, sure. Goes to Command Zone. I do not care. You know? The Relic while putting you to 1 is pretty nice. And then I can do this nifty thing. Where I play Blood Artist. If you counter it... I can just play Rankle. If you don't, I sack it to Phyrexian Tower. GG. We are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did, and Yawgmoth Thran Physician is just a cool card to play. Like, there is nothing else to say here. The game plan is simple, the game plan is effective, the game plan is awesome, it just pew death triggers everywhere, and yeah, like, as you can see, all the games, like, you can see that all the games play out the same in a way, where you set up your creatures, you kill the opponent's creatures, and you just win. But it's still different decisions each time, and you can just make a lot of cool little plays that are very like tricky to perfectly maneuver through, right? So overall, I really like this deck. Again, budget options. My number one crafts would be all the on-death effects. Like, those really hold the deck together. Liliana is pretty good. Maybe Loath and Open the Graves is okay, right? But like, the on-death trigger effects, those are your number one crafts, and everything that you basically sacrifice, you can substitute for something worse, because in the end, you're just sacrificing it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.